or while I would have preached. He says, I'm in trouble, I'm hopeless, I got no one to help me, because I dwell with the people in the same situation I am. When I go to prison, how can you go to prison and talk to those people after you know some of the things they've done? It's because, guess what? We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. There's some guys will cry, some guys weep, some guys sit there and want to talk. You know, I walked into the juvies. I always like going to the juvies. That's where I like to go first. In the federal side, over in they go D block into segregation, go to juvenile delinquents, or they call it juveniles. And when I went there this week, I said, how many are Bible? And I passed out Bibles, and they all hollered, the whole bottom floor hollered, go to the first cell. He needs 2 Bibles. And I said, why does he need 2 Bibles? He said, because he tried to kill himself. He tried to hang himself with his cell. Of course, I told them 2 Bibles ain't going to help him. And they began to laugh, and I said, I'm not here to make him laugh over that suicide. That's him. So Stephen went and ministered to all of them, and I went to that guy. And he was sitting on his bed, and he wouldn't come to me. He just looked at me. And so I pointed at him. He was 17. I pointed at him. He looked at me kind of wide-eyed, and I said, come here. And he struggled. Then he got up. He started walking to me. And I said, I need you to tell me something. He said, what? I said, what's going on inside? What's going on inside me right now? And I found out that he had a $50,000 bond, and he got moved into a $500,000 bond. And he said there was no way out, no hope, and so he thought the only way out was to kill himself. And I said, you know that's not the truth. He says, I know that now. And then he began to talk with a lot of intelligence and began to talk to spiritual things. And I said, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. He said, well, I want y'all to hear this because this is for some of y'all right here, right now. I said, wait a minute. You're sounding too much like somebody knows what's going on. Talk to me. Where are you from? He said, I said, who's your mom and daddy? Or that answered, I said, where do they live? What's going on? He said, I wasn't raised by my mom and daddy. I was raised by my grandma. And he said, she's a pastor. So he was feeling bad because she's a pastor and he had done this stuff. And it was so expensive they didn't see any way out. And the Lord began to deal with me, to deal with him. We're going back and forth. And he's crying. And we're going back and forth, talking back and forth. And then I told him, I said, you know what this deal is? I said, okay, your only family is your grandma. She's a pastor. You're her only child, so to speak. I said, this is more than about you. This is about generations to come. And he said, tell me how you mean that. I said, well, see, your grandmama, God's investing what he invested in grandmama into you. I said, I can look at you. And I began to tell him some things. I said, I bet you this, and this. He says, you're exactly right. I said, you're gifted and you're ready to move into the ministry. And I began to talk to him. He said, how'd you know that? I said, I'm just telling you what I'm feeling right now. And as we got talking, I said, here's what's going on. It's happening to some of y'all right now. Please listen. I said, this attack is not just on you. I said, if Satan could get you to commit suicide, number one, he would cause your grandma to be so distraught that it would change her ministry forever. She may even quit. Number two, you'd be gone. And number three, your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children would be gone. I said, if he takes you out, he takes out the generation before you. He takes out your generation and the generations after you. I said, so when you think about that, how does it make you feel? He says, I'm so mad at you. I said, are you going to try this again? He says, no, sir, I promise. I will not try this again. I understand. Some of y'all here right now got to realize the attack on you right now is not just on you, but it's on the generation before you. Listen, if you do what you listen, if you listen to Satan, it's going to ruin the generation before you, your generation, and generation. What's coming down the line? When we walked out, I looked in the cell, and he smiled. and waved. I said, thank God. That was awesome. So watch. Every one of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And every last one of us, if we're going to man, we've got no one to turn to. We can talk to him, of course. But we're going to stand alone before God, even Trump and Clinton. Amen? They're both going to stand before God. None of them, listen, although they're very popular or unpopular, they're popular in their own popularity, it doesn't matter. So watch.